Blanche, what's your book about?
Eleanor of Aquitaine, the most beautiful and richest woman in Europe, is returning from the Crusades with her husband, King Louis of France, whom she loathes, from whom she wants a divorce, but the Pope's forbidden it. The afternoon before they arrive in Paris, she is approached by a handsome stranger, Geoffrey, the Duke of Normandy. Geoffrey is a notorious womanizer, and he aims to seduce the Queen. However, he's not doing this just for his own amusement, but for political strategy. Geoffrey wants to help his son, Henry, whom I've called the Young Lion, to seize the throne of England. And so the romance begins.
So who is the Young Lion?
He is Henry Plantagenet, the first of the Plantagenets, which is the greatest dynasty in English history. He became Henry II of England. When he was very young, he was 21, he was a magnificent warrior. He was a very good strategic thinker. He was very handsome. He had a great passion for women, many women. He was charming. He was extremely hot-tempered. What else can I say? I wish I'd known him.
You've always been interested in power.
Yes.
And what's changed between the 12th century and the 21st century about the way men and women get power, do you think?
Well, men in the 12th century got power through physical prowess and through inheritance and through marriage. Marriage was very important. Marrying the right heiress was a very important issue for men then. Women got power through marriage also and through inheritance. They didn't have very few of them had the, and one most important thing I've left out is the church. The church was the great ladder for the lower classes to climb out of that they could climb into the aristocracy.
Now, you've called the book The Young Lion, but as well as being about him, it is a book about his lover. So tell us about who his lover is.
Well, I don't want to give too much away. His lover is a girl who was the maid, brought back from Outremer, as they called it, beyond the sea, brought back from Byzantium by Eleanor when she went on the Second Crusade with her husband, King Louis of France. And she saw this beautiful girl working for the Empress of Byzantium, saw her extraordinary talents both as a beautician and for writing. She could write many languages. And she persuaded the Empress to give her the girl, who was actually a slave. Brought her back to Paris, and it was there that the young lion met her and kidnapped her, basically.
What interested you about the young lion as a character? I mean, I think of you as someone who's always been very interested in women and strong women, and Eleanor of Aquitaine is definitely that. So why did you want to write a book where the central character was male?
He was swashbuckling, but for me the thing that I really love and admire him for was that he introduced to the world the concept of the rule of law, which is something that many countries in the 21st century are still struggling with.
Did you go to the places that are associated with these characters in France and in Britain, and did you visit particular sites that gave you a kind of frisson?
Yes, absolutely, particularly, of course, not a great deal is left. Dover Castle was built by the Young Lion, by Henry II. That survived even the Nazi bombing during World War II. But in France, there's a great deal more left, and Chinon, where he died, I had a really extraordinary experience there.
So this is where the young lion died?
Yes, well, he was an old lion by then.
So what was your experience at Chinon like?
I don't think I should tell you. But the historian with whom I was travelling, the French historian, said to me, "You had to see it to believe it." What happened?
You have to tell us something. You can't leave us dangling with that.
Well, it's known that he died somewhere there, but archaeologists have yet to excavate the castle to find out where. The Plantagenet means broom. It's the broom flower, and so it's a member of the pea family. Anyway, we were walking around this giant castle, and I said to the historian I was travelling with, "I feel it was over here that he died." It was just, I've had it like a dog smelling it. And we came to a place which was just all dead weeds and so forth, because it was the end of summer, everything had died off. And it was again like following a scent. And I jumped up on this thing and walked over, and there suddenly there was this beautiful pink pea flower growing. So it was of the same family, but it was pink. And it was exactly where I felt he had died. So that's not yet been excavated. I'm the only person who would make that claim.